I've had a few messages on my Instagram about belts and what I run and why. So I personally run this, the Ultimax UXP 448 for the Polaris Scrambler 1000. I'm fairly sure this belt fits the S, but probably worth just double checking. I will start us off by saying I am helped and supported by Ultimax, which is it's basically Timken. They are the best belts I've found, so therefore I approached them to help me with my racing. There are plenty of other belts and comparables on the market, but I've tried this, I've tried various others as well, but this was what worked best for me. I do XC racing, so that's 2.5 hours around various different lengths of tracks. They can be short or long, fast or technical, and this belt has held up to every challenge I've thrown at it, including beach racing. If you really wanted to, you could put this on your belt, put this on your bike. If you run it in properly, it'll last a very, very long time. I could probably get a full season out of one of these, but it would be very, very risky with the amount of stress they go through. Whereas a standard belt, so this is a Polaris original, been used obviously, this one is brand new. You can see that, get both angles. So I'm quite new to doing these sorts of videos, but I've been told that they might help a few people out, so that's why I'm willing to give them a go. So, belts and what I do to get them to last longer to start with. It is imperative that you run a belt in properly. If you just put this on your machine and go flat out to start with, your belt will not last long. It's because it has not been pre-stretched and bedded into the clutches. This is what I've been told by other people. We've tried it and it's worked. I've never, touch wood, had a belt snap on me yet. Now this is probably calling my luck into question, and I'll probably have one go next race. But these are a very, very durable belt. Every belt is very durable, provided they are running correctly. So this is an Ultimax, standard Polaris. We've got a what looks like a G-Force by Gates here. All very comparable belts, but however I found the best performance out of one of these. So they're all various different shapes and sizes. So got the micrometer here, well, not micrometer, calipers. We've got, it's roughly top of tooth to top of tooth on here, 17mm on the Ultimax XP. You've got approximately 15mm on the standard Polaris, and then you've got 15 again on the Gates G-Force. So they're all very good belts, like I say, and if you run them in and look after them properly, they will last a very long time. Another thing, once you've finished a race or a long ride, is not to switch your bike off straight away and let this sit on baked hot clutches, because that will create weak points where the belt is in contact with your clutch, and it will create a brittle point where it can snap. So if you're looking for an Ultimax belt, or any belt for example, for your bike, you can contact someone like CRP Products in the UK. They've got various experts, from whether it be trail riding to racing to just going around the back garden on your farm bike. They will be able to specify a belt for you, and one that's just right for your needs. If you're wanting the sort of maximum performance and life cycle out of a belt, I really wouldn't stray far away from these. The Ultimax XP. 3 years warranty from the manufacturer. They're made in the US. And again, you can get these through CRP in the UK, or you can contact Timken or Ultimax themselves if you are anywhere else in the world. So just quickly on the belts as well, a different aspect of when you can tell a belt is worn. So as you can see, it's quite a dull finish, dull all the way around, no specific scrapes and grooves. That's probably in its mid-life cycle from what I can tell. I'm no expert on belts. This is all I've picked up from racing these scramblers now for the best part of 7 years. And like I say, I've had quite a good track record with belts. And if you look after them, then they'll last a long time. So this is my original belt, the original belt that came on my scrambler when I first got it. Quite flimsy as such now. Where you'll see these have got a more rigid feel to them. That is because this is brand new and not worn in. This is what I mean. With a bit of flexibility, it's not necessarily always a bad thing, because it will bed and mould to your clutches and won't snap. If you give it one of those, when your clutches expand on a more rigid belt, you're more prone to get a snap. So this has worn well down on the inside teeth. You can see it's got a bit of a burr and a chamfer on the inside teeth where it's worn. The outside teeth necessarily don't get as much wear. A lot of people, which is quite a common misconception, look at the outside teeth for wear. Your belt doesn't wear there, it's on the inside or the outside face. That is where your clutches bed up like that and create a friction which creates drive in your CVT gearbox. And then this one, again, slight chamfer on the inside, whereas this is slightly, but I believe that's by design. But no, nothing is comparable to this. This has got quite a chamfer. This hasn't as much. I believe they put a little chamfer on them to help them mate to the face of the clutches, but then they can wear in them areas as well. So if you do quite a hot race and leave them sitting on the clutches, a lot of the time you will find you get a shine. This is probably the most shiny one I have. You get a real shine across here, and that's where it's been heated, and it will then give you a sign that it is probably not going to have that much life left in it because you've not taken care of it. Again, people at Ultimax or any other comparable company or CRP in the UK will tell you how to specify a belt, look after a belt and bed a belt in properly. A lot of the time it'll be on your instructions from your manufacturer. See? Belt care. So for the Ultimax it specifies every new belt needs to be seated to the clutch faces for the first 20 miles. Run your machine at half throttle or less, and do not crimp the belt or turn it inside out. So that's for the Ultimax. Like I say, I'm no expert on belts. This is just what I've picked up through experience. There'll be a couple more of these style videos. Again, not an expert, just experience and sharing what I've learned through working with different components of the Polaris Scrambler. So that's just a quick one. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments or shoot me a message. I've got all my social media linked in my bio, I believe. If not, just drop me a message on YouTube and I'll make sure to get back to you. Thank you for listening.